Welcome to the No Dunks Podcast, Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. I'm Jay Skeets, back in the Classic Factory 2.0. And alongside me, as always, go Blue Jays, Tass Mellis.
Jays are going to do it. Welcome back, Skeets.
Oh, it's so good to be back with you guys. Next to him, it's my top shot hot boys, Trey Kirby.
Heyo.
Heyo. And over yonder, over here, yes, in the other corner, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Oops. Yeah, everything's rebuilt. Hello.
Hey.
There's JD.
We're working on it.
Holy shit, is it good to be back. I love what you've done with the place. It's not usually like this. So shout out Matty O.
It's not usually like this, but
I'm not only back, guys, I am a U.S. permanent resident.
Wow. Wow.
I've lived in Atlanta for 12 years, and just now am I a U.S. permanent resident.
Not a moment too soon.
Yeah, impeccable timing by me. What does it change? Next to nothing. What did it cost? Everything. Absolutely everything. On Monday, we officially kicked off our 20th full NBA season of daily hoops coverage. If that doesn't deserve a like or a subscription or a 5-star rating and review, wow.
You're a straight up hater.
Come on. 20 years. I said that last year, I know, but this is our 20th full NBA season. On Monday, we looked at the win totals for the Eastern Conference. Today, we head out west and we try our best with this loaded conference. And I want to remind you guys, last year, we had 7 teams between 52 wins and 48 wins in the Western Conference. Tighter than 2 coats of paint. That is nuts. So
Is that a saying?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe it's because I'm like breathing in paint fumes still here in this new Classic Factory. I'm pretty sure it's the
How
same.
many coats, JD? How many coats we got in here?
What did Roberto do?
Yeah, I know we got purple deep underneath the eggshell.
How many primers do we have to do?
At least 3.
Wow.
At least.
Wow, really
At
tight.
least, yeah.
Good. Not easy to paint a brick wall either. A lot of crevices.
It is for Roberto.
Did he have the spray gun?
No.
Whoa.
Roller.
Wow,
Roller
that's
and brush.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
crazy, right?
It's incredible work.
Yeah, it looks like Roberto Alomar with that paintbrush in his hands.
So,
Yep.
Western Conference, let's start with the Northwest Division. We'll go through every team here in the West. And we'll start with the Denver Nuggets. And all of our over-under win totals coming by way of FanDuel. So the Nuggets, 54.5 is their line this year. They added Cameron Johnson, Jonas Valanciunas, Bruce Brown, Tim Hardaway Jr., and the big departures, Michael Porter Jr., and I guess Dario Saric. But, you know, they have improved this team, I think, on paper. So 54.5. TK, I'll start with you. Where are you leaning with Denver?
Hey, this is a much better team. This seems to be probably the best bench that Nikola Jokic has ever had since being in Denver. The problem for me is that number is really high. 55 is a lot of wins. How many times do you think the Nuggets have won 55 or more games with Nikola Jokic?
It's got to be once.
Literally once.
In a full season at least?
Literally
Yeah.
once
2 years
in a
ago.
full season.
Yeah.
Yeah. The year after the championship. Look, they can get there for sure. I just don't really think they care about winning 55 to 60 games. I'm going to go under, even though I think that the Nuggets are a lot better than they were last year when they won 50 games. So they could still add to their win total, 3 or 4 wins, hit the under. I still think they're one of the 2 best teams in the league. I think a lot of people, when we get to doing full-on season previews, will be picking the Nuggets to win the championship because of how close they got against OKC last year before Aaron Gordon's leg gave out, Michael Porter Jr.'s shoulder gave out. I'm excited to see this team. I'm excited to see what Cam Johnson brings, what new element he brings to this team. A little bit more playmaking than Michael Porter Jr., not quite as good of a rebounder. We'll see what the shooting does because MPJ, knockdown guy. But yeah, I'm excited for the Nuggets. I'm just still going under because 55 wins is maybe too many.
I'm going over. Yes, they're freaking stacked, more so than that 57-win team a couple of years ago after they won the title. Then they dropped off a little bit last year. And I just think Jokic is just going to be hungry to get it done, combined with guys that can do everything on a basketball floor around Nikola Jokic. The addition of Cam Johnson gives you another ball handler who can finish at the rim, obviously play great defense. If you didn't watch him in Brooklyn last year, it's understandable, but the guy is friggin' good. To go along with Aaron Gordon, to go along with Jamal Murray, there's 3 guys in that starting lineup along with Nikola Jokic who can handle the ball really, really well. Jamal Murray, talking like he is super duper healthy as asked, are you going to be an all-star for the first time this year? Because I don't care. I just care about being healthy in November. I feel better than last year. He started talking about getting Jonas Valanciunas to set screens for him at half court. Well, he's already planning, and that's a great sign for the Denver Nuggets, especially because Jonas is there to lead a second unit with so many freaking guys now. Tim Hardaway, Bruce Brown is back another year. Julian Strother, Deron Holmes was a first-round pick last year. Now he's healthy to back up. So I just think Jokic won't have to play as many minutes as he did last year. Played most of in his career. 55 is a lot.
Yeah,
but I think they get there.
It's a good line. They usually are. It's right around this mark. It's like, are they going to go just under or just over? I'm with Trey. I'm going just under, but I like for a couple of reasons you said, Tass. They have some sharpshooters now. I mean, Cam Johnson is actually a sneaky good three-point shooter. Not that Michael Porter Jr. wasn't either, but he sort of fills that role. 39, I think, percent in his career from deep. And then Tim Hardaway Jr., you know my thoughts on him. This was a guy I always picked to score 50 in a game. Maybe it'll happen with Jokic setting him up and he hits like 10 or 11 threes, but he's been pretty good for his whole career. Love that. And they have a competent backup big in JV. I mean, Jokic, it shouldn't fall off a cliff, the team, when he goes to the bench. JV is more than capable, at least I think, as a backup big. So I love that. Probably their best chance to maybe win a title since the 23 championship team. Again, if everybody's healthy, because I can't wait to see what they do with these bench guys, the Bruce Browns, the Strother, the Peyton Watson, JV, like I said, Tim Hardaway Jr. Some pieces there. You're going to have to sort of experiment, I think, and that might happen through the regular season, and that's fine. Maybe that drops a couple wins here or there because of it, but I go just under. I think it's going to be 52, 53 type of wins in a loaded Western Conference. Like that's a hell of a record.
Yeah, that's a really good
West.
record.
Yeah.
I mean, if they won 53 games, they would have been second in the Western Conference last year.
Right.
The Valanciunas thing is interesting to me. I think this is the most overrated pickup of the offseason.
so?
He's going to play like 12 minutes a game.
Yeah, but you saw this team when Jokic was out.
Yeah, so it's true. I'm not blaming DeAndre Jordan for their bench being bad. Yeah, he was bad. It's got to be Murray has to actually carry the team. Cam Johnson has to carry the team. It's not going to be dumping the ball into Jonas Valanciunas and playing through the post for him. The guy played backup big for the Wizards and the Kings last year. We're acting like he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar coming off the bench.
Yeah, I'm not definitely not acting like
100 for ESPN's 100. He was number 83.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
Well, I didn't make that list. Now that is a bit of a stretch. My point is the hopefully Denver Nuggets don't fall apart when Jokic is not out there.
So you want Jokic to play less?
Maybe.
I think he's gonna want to do that. Their second year is just gonna be better. They started running out Dario Saric last year. The guy's
you were hyped for Dario Saric this time last year.
Yeah, well, I didn't know about his body type, that he was decaying as a man. I mean, he was atrophying. He looked so slow out there. Jonas is going to look slow too. There's no doubt. But there's just so many more guys. Bringing Bruce Brown back, Tim Hardaway is a capable guy. There's way more guys, and another year. And yeah, I think he should play less. Jokic should play less just to be ready to go. He's still in his prime. He can play as many minutes as he wants. It's really how much do they want it? That's about that. About the over-under number.
They're not a team that's going to be gunning for the number one seed. No way.
No.
They've already won a title, and they weren't a number one seed, if I remember correctly.
But they are a scrappy bunch. I think they have enough guys. We didn't mention Christian Brown. He's going to be part of the unit. This is what he said leading into the season here. Quote, everything we've asked for, everything in this locker room has wanted, we have. It just feels like it's a bunch of guys that want to play hard. Jokic, last year more than any other year, was vocal and mad and angry, and that's why they moved on from Michael Malone, in my opinion, that they just needed a change up. Jokic asked for it, and so he demands it, and he's still, obviously, in his peak powers, so... It's a good number.
So you got Denver, 55 plus wins. Trey and I just taken the under for what we still think is going to be a really, really good team.
They did get the 1 seed back in 2023.
2023.
Yeah, the year they won the championship.
Oh, okay. So 22-23 that year. Okay, wow. How many
53 wins?
53 wins. Okay, interesting. So maybe
the next year they got it. Hold on. When they got 57 wins, I guess they were second to
OKC. I think they won 60 that year. But yeah, I mean, like the thing is that if they play Valanciunas more, it's good for them long term. In the playoffs. Yeah. And that's really what matters. But if he plays more, their win total goes down in the regular season. That's how it adds up to me. Okay. Let's keep it moving here. Minnesota Timberwolves over under 49.5 wins. Are they a 50-win team to Tass Mellis? Get us started here.
I'm going over. I think this team is a 50-win team For sure. Last year, we saw Julius Randle enter that training camp, and he didn't get it going until March. He found his way, and that's why this team ended the regular season 17-4 in their last 21 games. And maybe it took him a decade to figure out how to be a number 2 guy, but he's found it. And to pair with Anthony Edwards, I think is a great setup for the rest of this roster, too. I know Nickeil Alexander-Walker left, but I think there's a little too much hype around Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Good player, but he averaged 9.4 points in this team. A guy who was also traded along with Julius Randle right before the training camp, Dante DiVincenzo, will be better because he's had another year there. And they've got other guys to fill in with TJ Shannon, that 25-year-old young player. He ain't young. Rob Dillingham, another year. Jalen Clark, another year. I think they've got enough guys to fill in for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I can't bet against Anthony Edwards in year 6. I find that hard to do. They've got other random guys that they brought in just to help out. They're taking a flyer on Bones Highland. And so I think there'll be enough guys out there to help out. There's no ownership squabble like there was last year. It just feels like Anthony Edwards, you got to start with him. Yeah. I don't see him winning fewer than 50 games ever.
He won 49 last year.
Yeah. They've only won. The Timberwolves have won 50 or more games one time in the past 20 years.
Wow. And that was 2 years ago. Right.
2 years ago.
The cat last season.
Yeah. I think that's a new man. And the roster is just too good. It's an outright line. But I think the way that they finished last year shows what type of team they should have coming into the season. Again, a good line.
I mean, they're bringing back Naz Reid. They're bringing back Julius Randle. So that means all 6 of the Wolves' double figures scorers from 24-25 last year, they all return. So there's a lot of continuity finally with this team. For a team that's gone to back-to-back Western Conference Finals, 49 last year, 56 the year before. Are you a split the difference, TK, and maybe still get the over, like Tass is saying?
I think this one's kind of tough because they got to 49 wins last year. You assume Anthony Edwards is going to take at least a minor step forward, if not a major step forward. For me, preseason number 5 MVP candidate. I think he should be like one of the considered dark horses in case things click perfectly for Minnesota. But to get to 49 wins, they had to win 17 of their last 21. They caught fire in the second half of the season when Julius Randle returned from injury. March is a weird time. It's easy to win games if you're really trying, and they were really trying to get out of the play-in tournament last year because, like you're saying, there was 2 coats of paint on the Western Conference. I wish they would have replaced Nickeil Alexander-Walker with literally anybody because I don't think Bones Highland is really going to have an impact on this team. I do have a little bit of hope for Terrence Shannon Jr. He played like 300 minutes last season, so they're expecting a lot more from him. They're expecting a lot more from Dillingham, and they're hoping that Mike Conley is able to stay at the level he was last year. And I think that was kind of a question mark. But I'm still going over. I think they get right to 50 wins. Not a lot of confidence in it, but I think they can do it.
There was a time in late February when Minnesota was just above 500. And like they were in the 9th spot in the Western Conference. And then they ripped off this run that you guys are saying in large part with Julius Randle coming back and then make another postseason run to the Western Conference Finals. So it is crazy. Like they really struggled for a majority of the year till they got going in the last couple months. But I'm with you guys. I think just over. I'm excited to, believe, I guess, the hype of these reports that Anthony Edwards, the one thing he's working on this offseason is the post game. It's going to go MJ Kobe style. That's fun. And look, I'm laughing a little bit, but remember last offseason it was, he's really working on becoming an elite 3-point shooter.
And he was the best 3-point shooter in the league.
He did. So I actually am like, I can't wait to see him operate in the post. Because, he led the league in threes made and attempted, and he was hitting a whole bunch of them. He was like hitting, 6 or 7 a game on 10-plus attempts. So he did that.
He did.
And let's see what he can do in the post. I think I'm splitting the difference between the 49 and the 56 to get just over 50.
He had a nice preseason possession where he got in the post. Okay. He demanded it. I guess he's going to do that. And that's why I just not betting against the guy in general because he's a leader. So 50... I guess sub 50 or done for his career. I'm just saying that now. It depends on the rest of the roster, obviously, but it's hard not to believe in Anthony Edwards as he gets older here. Again, year 6.
We are starting with the juggernauts of the Western Conference.
Holy literally crap, an awesome division.
Denver, Minnesota, and now we go to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Over-under set at 62.5 TK, and they are returning 95% of their minutes from last season's championship team. And obviously the big thing this offseason was signing the long-term contract extensions for SGA, J-Dub, and Chet Holmgren. They won 68 last year, so, Vegas is saying, they'll maybe take their foot off the gas a little bit, but do you still think they can hit over 63 wins?
They can lose 5 more games and still hit the over. That's pretty ridiculous. And it's like kind of a mixed bag, I think, on if teams get better after winning the championship. Denver and Milwaukee did. Golden State didn't. Boston didn't, right? Like they took a little bit of a step back. You throw in the health for OKC, which I also think is a bit of a mixed bag. Like their role players, Isaiah Hartenstein, Alex Caruso, and Chet Holmgren all missed significant time, 56 games for Hartenstein, 54 Caruso, 32 for Chet. But they got 76 games from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 69 from J-Dub. That's what really matters, is when your stars play. Maybe they feel zero motivation this year. They all got paid. They won. They won every single award that's out there, basically. So maybe they're just like, yeah, we'll just win a minor 60 games. You also figure, can they get any better? 68 wins last year. 4 teams ever have won 69 or more games. So I don't think they're going over 68. No. I'm actually going to take the under here. I think they win about 60.
Okay. What do you think, Tess?
Yeah, to me, the numbers, it's a factor here. Dropping 8 wins for a team that just comes back with their extremely talented guys that are likely to get better in some ways. I don't
because of their age.
Yeah. I mean, Jalen Williams has to get better at some point. Yeah. Casey Wells had Chet as well, who missed a ton of games last year, just getting over 30 games were played. Hartenstein missed the first month of the season, so they really were hurt then. It's a big drop off. They're literally winning 6 fewer games. I think they do it. I think they can still win 63 games easily, to me. I think they're just a focused bunch. Of course, yes, you brought up some good instances like Golden State, maybe getting a little lax. Boston dropped from 64 wins to 61 wins. Right. OKC just doesn't seem like that type of bunch.
Focus is the key word. Yeah. Because are they still going to have the most suffocating defense in the league?
Probably yes.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but you said they got the title. They got all the accolades. Like, I don't think it's far-fetched that maybe the intensity on that end, scales back a little bit. The problem is they have so many damn guys, a couple of their star guys even, scale it back on that end. It's like all these other guys are chomping at the bit to show what they can deliver to the team. So I'm going to go just under, though. And you guys you're bringing up Boston as an example. They won 61 games last year. They won 64 in the title year. They became the 5th team this century to win 60-plus games the season after lifting the Larry O'Brien trophy. So OKC is trying to add their name to that list. But of the previous 4, only one team, the 12-13 Miami Heat, finished the job and repeated as champs. So another just 2-year dominant run to then go back-to-back. OKC obviously want to do that part more than win 60 to 65 games. That's not important. So I'm going just under, but I still think they're a 60-win team. I just don't think they're a 63-plus.
The difference is between some of those teams that couldn't repeat 60 wins is how young this team is. Their top 8 guys were 26 years or younger last year. It's one of the youngest championship teams in the history of this league. So will they keep up that hunger? And as you said, guys come off the bench and just keep on going. They keep churning.
They had the most double-digit wins in NBA history last year. They just smoked teams. Yeah, they had the highest ever point differential because of that.
Yeah. So will the top guys get injured? As Trey brought up, they're friggin' healthy, most of them. Outside Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein.
Their 2 All-NBA guys were super healthy. That's the big thing. So far, they've lost Thomas Sorber and Nikola Topic.
Yeah, Topic out 4 to 6 weeks is what they're saying. At least he'll be reevaluated. After surgery.
Testicular procedure.
Yeah, procedure.
Not a great sounding term.
No, I mean, that's not great. No, testicular procedure. You're going to miss some time. Take your time is what everyone's going to say to that. So we were excited for him, obviously, getting a chance here, but it's going to take a little while, a couple months. So you're over so far.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, these are all great teams, though. So
they're great teams.
They're great teams.
Let's go to the Portland Trailblazers. They're unfortunately for them, I guess, are in the Northwest Division. Their line is set at 34.5. Let me tell you what they did. They brought in Drew Holiday, obviously traded for him. They got Damian Lillard back, but he won't be playing. He's there for the vibes. Blake Wesley is also there. DeAndre Ayton out. Anthony Simons out. Jabari Walker out. Tass. They played really well in the second half of the season last year. think they finished 23-18 in the second half. So if you believe that, you think that's obviously going to be more than 35 wins. But what do you think?
I think they'll be a little bit under. Yeah, their defense is going to be so good with Drew Holiday. He's going to be spectacular. Playing alongside Toumani Camara and Denny Avdia, along with Klingon. That's a foursome in that starting lineup that is fantastic. It's probably Sharp to finish out that starting lineup. But are they going to score enough? I think that's a fair question. As good as Sharp has been, as good as Denny has been at times, I don't know. You're really going to rely on those two guys to score a ton. Of course, they got the cultural identity. Last year was this defense that took off late, as we've talked about, and Mickey Mouse March primarily. This team is just lacking offensively, and I think that's going to be a problem. So I think it's going to be an under.
They were 36-46 last year. So you think they're going to be worse?
Yeah, I mean, the Simons points are important to me that they're gone. No, they have other guys that can score, but who is your number one scorer from
Jeremy
those guys
Grant.
named?
He thinks he is for sure.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well.
I didn't even say.
Well,
his
he
name.
wants to start too.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't.
Yeah.
But they need scoring. I'm with you. They're going to be a good defensive team with Klingon playing a lot more. Toumani Camara is a good defender as well. Made all defense last season. I think Drew Holiday is going to be an improvement over Scoot Henderson as a starter. That guy's out right now as well. I just think they are lower middle class in the Western Conference, unfortunately. So I think they're going to go over on their wins. I think they get to 35, but I don't really see this team making any sort of noise, even though they did have a really good second half of the season last year.
Yeah, breakout seasons, sort of, I guess, from Sharp. Denny Avdia, fair to say that was a breakout season. At least down the stretch, he was putting up monster numbers. He was probably winning people some fantasy basketball leagues. He averaged 25, 11, and 6 over the final 16 games of the year, so really filling it up. You had the emergence of Donovan Klingon. Yeah, they got a defensive identity. I like that. They sort of remind me a little bit like the Toronto Raptors, like what they did last year, where they finally found some defense in the second half of the season, sort of were a 500 team. That's sort of what Portland was doing well, or doing as similar in the West. I'm going just over. I think they might have the exact same record as last year. I said, 36 and 46. So I'm going to go just over on Portland in this tough division, tough conference.
You have the Jeremy Grant factor here, making, is it $40 million? The monster contract that he signed, and if that's sort of a cloud hanging over this team, I think is a fair question. Whether or not he starts or not, I didn't mention him as a starter because I don't consider him one of those top guys, but he could easily start. And the offense or lacking thereof when he's playing is a huge question. That's why Chauncey Billups brought in two assistant coaches that are offensive specialists. That's what they are, because they were so good defensively last year. And Denny is friggin' awesome, and Shaedon Sharp scored 18.5 last year, and you'd think he'd score fewer than that, but he's a machine. Drew Holiday was one of the first things that he said, my God, that guy can play, as soon as he came in, because he's watching him in person. He's really good. That being said, yeah, that's what the number is, 35, 36. Again, tough West, tough friggin' division. They got to play those other teams 4 times each. That doesn't bode well for me.
Okay. Final team in the Northwest Division, the Utah Jazz.
Oh, this bodes well for them, though.
This is where it falls off. So the Jazz had 18.5 wins. Lowest in the league. That's right. I guess the Wizards and Nets were 20.5, 21.5 respectively when we did Monday's show. But yeah, Jazz 18.5, brought in every guy that's slow in the league. Literally a guy nicknamed Slow-Mo. Kevin Love, he's old. George Niang, that's the minivan. Nurkic, maybe slower than all these guys. They did draft Ace Bailey with the 5th pick. They got Walter Clayton Jr. with the 18th pick. Clarkson gone, Collins gone, Colin Sexton gone. TK, I'll start with you. I mean, is this going to be the worst team in the West league?
Yes.
Yeah. How many wins, though?
One team always is under 20 wins.
Okay.
And I definitely think it could be the Jazz because they're veterans that they brought in. The thing that ever made them competitive since trading Mitchell and Gobert, they're bad. I mean, they should make Love, Niang, Anderson, and Nurkic race. Like, that would be a cool thing to see at an open practice or something like that.
Who would you bet in that?
Yeah, those are 4.
Who would I bet?
Equally.
And what are we doing? Are we racing without the ball from baseline?
Yeah, I'm just saying baseline to baseline.
No turnaround.
Oh, you want to turn around?
A little bit.
You want, okay, like a Barkley Bavetta style race.
And then who kisses at the end?
Who kisses at the end? Kevin Love is doing a kiss for sure.
yeah,
He
sure.
would understand the meme potential of it, and he would put on Instagram the Barkley Bavetta race from back in the day. I might take Nurkic.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Literally, his coach at Eurobasket's like, this guy can't run.
No, I'm not taking Nurkic. I think he might be the
Is he the youngest? I mean, Niang, is Niang younger? I don't know, but down and back would probably take 25 seconds.
We gotta do this.
They gotta race it.
It's great.
But the problem with this is, okay, so 17 wins last year. They had
Yeah.
37 2 years prior when
Yeah.
they still had some of the remnants from the Gobert-Mitchell era. 31 wins last season. Markkanen only played 47 wins. I think this guy should and likely will be traded at some point this season because it feels like a waste of his time to stick around. The question for the Jazz is literally, are any of their young guys any good at all?
Right.
Ace Bailey, Walter Clayton drafted this year. We'll see what they're able to do. But like Isaiah Collier, Cody Williams, Taylor Hendricks, like prove you belong in the NBA, I think is a big question because only Kyle Filipowski and Bryce Sensabaugh to me so far have shown flashes that they could stick in the league. If you're trying to develop that many guys, your team is going to be bad. I'm taking under.
Okay. Under
I hear
18
you.
and a half. So basically replicating what they did last year, like Trey's saying. 17 wins last year.
I'm going over. I don't think
It's not a lot of wins.
it's not
Take
a
it
lot of
over.
wins. Yeah, the last 4 teams with a projected over-under win total of 18 and a half or lower finished over.
Oh, wow.
Because that's how low they were projected.
Very
Now,
low,
It
yeah.
doesn't mean that they destroyed that 18 and a half number.
No.
But it's been a while since it's happened.
What was the Jazz's line last year? I mean, it was low, but not this low.
Yeah, it's low.
I
It's high,
pounded
definitely
the
higher.
under. I think they were one of my locks, maybe. Yeah.
Well, Markkanen's going to play more, I suppose. As you said, he may be traded at some point, so he'll be playing for that. So I think that bodes well. Ace Bailey's a super talented guy. I think he does want to be there. I thought those hike videos that they took together proved to me that he wants to be there. They're starting a guy up.
Nobody puts
They
more
went
stock
hiking.
into
I
an
like they do
offseason
that.
than Tess and all this.
Well,
Wow, they're over under last year. You'll never guess. You'll never guess
Super
what
high.
it is.
Was it 31?
29 and a half.
Yeah, it was high. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Really high.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. The beyond Markkanen and Bailey, I have faith in Walter Clayton. He looked great at Florida. He's a champ to help out. He's an old rookie. He's a 4-year college player. He's going to play. Filipowski's going to play. Taylor Hendricks might finally start getting some minutes. He was injured primarily last year. Played better in his rookie year, the year before that. And then you got those old slow guys who would form a great race. The 4 of them are Love, Niang, and Nurkic, who just got there, going to help
Slow-mo,
out.
yeah.
And Slow-mo. Are they all going to help out? Just to get these guys across the line to 20 wins. Across the line, also in that race, but also to get to, well, it's 19, I shouldn't say.
Simple 19.
Yeah, it's 19.
So those are the objectives this year for the Jazz. Basically, build up Lauri Markkanen's trade value. That's step 1, or hope, and then I guess the other objective is to see which one of these young guys, like you were saying, Trey, actually pops and is like a cornerstone that you can sort of like see yourself, hitching to and build something there. Poor Will Hardy, though, man. 37 wins to 31, then to 17 last year, and we're basically saying somewhere around that probably. This year, at least the worst team in the conference, they feel like. I looked last year. They won back-to-back games twice last year. That's it.
Nice.
Right before Christmas, they went into Detroit and won. They shot the lights out from 3. I think they hit 20-plus threes in that game. Then they went to Brooklyn, got that victory. And then in early January, they won the old Florida 2-step there. They scored 136 points versus the Heat, and they took down the Paolo Franzless Magic in a back-to-back situation. The only time all season they won back-to-back games.
Both times on the road, though.
I know.
Road dog mentality.
I'm telling
I
you,
like that.
around the holidays, too. I think they caught some of these teams by surprise.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Jazz were a team you could easily overlook.
Yeah, and you got your
season.
mind on Christmas gifts and holiday
Big time,
plans,
gotta go
and
shopping.
travel plans. Yeah. So anyway, all that to say, to give you my pick here, I'm with you, Tess. I'm going just over. I'm going just over on this crappy team, but yeah, it's so low. And I like that stat you said. Most of these teams that were listed at 18.5 do just get over.
Yeah, the last
Sneak
4.
over.
The last 4 with that number of 18.5 or lower have finished over. It's been a while. It's the 2014 76ers were the last team to do that. The 2013 76ers also were somehow
Trust it, man.
Yeah, those numbers were 16 and 16 and a half for those two teams. That was their over/under number. So it doesn't happen a lot.
Okay.
And then we're going back to the 04 Bobcats and the 01 Bulls.
So yeah, they were bad.
Oh, right.
18 and a half was their number.
Yeah, they were
Match
very
this
bad.
number.
The Cornell David days.
Oh, yeah, that guy was good.
Yeah, put the poll up on our
Who wins the
live
race?
the stream team. Who wins a down and back race? The Shively show here in the stream team says this poll's literally impossible. Two elders, a fat guy, and a guy whose name is literally Snolomo. But the results of the poll, what do you think?
Is it Kyle Anderson?
He's second.
Oh, okay.
I think Nurkic is the right pick.
I don't at all.
5% of people go Nurkic.
No way, guys.
Kevin Love is our winner with 39% of the vote. Kyle Anderson 34, Niang 22, Yusuf Nurkic 5.
Oh, man. I actually think if I vote, I think I do go Kyle Anderson. I think the nickname is really holding him back here.
I think he should win.
I think once he gets going, he's not that slow. But the turnaround will hurt him. Yeah.
Well, it might hurt. You're right. Yeah, we gotta circle back at the end of the season and see who has on the tracking data who has the highest average miles per hour or something.
Yeah,
like
we
that.
might even be able to track their top speed and stuff like
That
that
could
now.
be.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that. All right. So Tass and I taking the over 18 and a half Utah. Trey saying no, he's still going under on that very low line. All right.
It's all about AJ DeBanza
That's right.
for the Jazz.
Sure.
That's what it's all about. The guy's going to BYU because the Jazz owner and Danny Ainge are like the biggest donors to BYU. They're paying him $7 million. I think, to go and play basketball in Utah for a year. So I think that's the entire objective is to get a high enough draft pick that you can pick that guy.
That's all right. They could still win 19 games and still win.
That's a great point. Yep.
We'll see. All right. We're going to do the Pacific Division next, but first, an ad from our sponsors.
Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. I've always struggled with my form when working out, but Peloton's Adrian Williams and Jess Sims get me right. But this new product is on a whole other level. The new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus is Peloton's most elevated equipment, with real-time guidance and endless ways to move alone or with your favorite instructors. It's cross-training reimagined with features designed to make your workout more personal. Peloton IQ provides intelligent strength coaching. It tracks your progress and suggests weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. And the movement tracking camera allows Peloton IQ to count your reps and correct your form in real time, taking the guesswork out of your workout so you can train safer, lift smarter, and make every rep count. The new Tread Plus comes with a swivel screen, so you can go from running on the Tread Plus to strength training or yoga with one smooth spin of the swivel screen. No more having to reposition yourself while working out to see a screen. It's wonderful. It offers endless ways to train for a well-rounded routine. Peloton IQ creates a personal workout roadmap with weekly recommended classes led by instructors who match your mood, vibe, and personality. Shout out to Adrian Williams, Jess Sims, and Rebecca Kennedy for her NBA full body strength warm-up. Thanks, Rebecca. With personalized plans plus insights and guidance, Peloton IQ helps you unlock new breakthroughs. Peloton is built for breakthroughs. Let yourself run, lift, sculpt, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
All right, time for the Pacific Division. If you're just joining us, hit the like button, subscribe. Podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. You know what to do. Before we get into it, how you feeling about the Jays still moving forward here? You got this beautiful jersey on for everybody on YouTube. You got the hat as well.
Yeah, put me in the game, coach.
But, tough one last night. Yankees staying alive. Judge hitting the 3-run tater, hitting the
awesome.
pole. That was
Off
pretty
the
amazing.
pole.
But what do you think? They bounce back here?
How did Judge get on top of that ball? That was an incredible swing. Incredible umpire camera to see that. Yeah, I believe in the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't mind if they lose Game 4 and go home in the Sky Dome for Game 5 Friday night. That place will be a rockin'. But it's fun. It's just a very, very fun series so far.
You love postseason baseball.
Who doesn't?
I mean, you're right. I don't watch a single baseball game all year long.
I guess
But I get excited for the
people-
postseason.
Some people do not, but
Some people
It's
don't.
fun.
Some people don't like the postseason.
well, I guess if they don't like postseason, they just don't like baseball.
Oh, well, that's what I just said, though. Even I don't really like baseball,
Yeah.
but even I have to admit, you get the drama of every pitch in the postseason.
Was that the best game of the playoffs so far? I don't know.
think
It feels like it. I feel
yeah.
like I'm seeing blowouts a lot.
Yeah.
I think so. I think so.
Had a little back and forth affair. Huge comeback by the Yankees. Okay.
I don't know.
All
I thought everybody would be excited, but Danielle sitting beside me on the couch is like, Vladdy hit a homer in the first freaking inning. I get excited.
Oh man, I went
kinda
nuts
looked at the
when
TV for a
Guerrero
second.
dove. Holy crap!
what a
Slid into home.
slide.
Yeah.
A slide. I love John Smoltz on the call saying that third baseman took a step to his right for that single that got Vladdy home, and then they show it on the camera immediately.
It's good producing.
Smoltz was good. Smoltz was good last night.
All right, back to basketball. Pacific Division. Let's start with the Golden State Warriors. Over-under set at 46.5. They finally, mercifully, re-signed Jonathan Kuminga, so he will be there
back,
to start
baby.
the season. DeAnthony Melton, Gary Payton II. They brought in Al Horford, Seth Curry, teaming up with his bro. And the notable departure is Kevon Looney leaving in free agency. Tess, I'll start with you. I will remind you, February 5th, Warriors were 500, 25-25, ninth in the Western Conference. They trade for Jimmy Butler. They became one of the best teams in the league. Finished 23-9, 22-5 when both Curry and Butler were playing. Got to the 7th seed, which, again, was only 4 wins behind the number 2 seed, Houston Rockets, so it was that tight. And then they knocked off the Rockets in a 7-game first-round series, and then Curry got hurt, and it was sort of over. But what do you think heading into the season, 46.5?
I'm taking the over. I think this team is far better now that they have Jimmy Butler there for the whole season, and you can see them in training camp in September where Jimmy is leading these workouts apparently along with Draymond. They are going to go into the season ready to go. You could hear Steph in all of his press conferences when asked about Jonathan Kuminga. He says he basically brushed it off and said, we're here to freaking play basketball. And this is a 4-time NBA champion. I think they're going to follow his lead. It feels like the last dance for the Chicago Bulls to me, in that they're going to be laser focused. So this 46.5 total, it ain't all that impressive to me. I think they can pass that. And I don't know, 47 just doesn't sound like a lot with Al Horford, the most selfless guy out there, passing to Steph. Like those passes will be there. They started 12-3 last year when they had some injuries immediately, and so that's why they dropped off. But they're better than that. I go over 46.5.
Yeah, I think they were 22-5 when Curry, Draymond, and Jimmy played after the trade. I just think this team is so old. They're going to be the first team in history to start 3 guys 35 or older. They've got 3 guys who are going to be starting born in the 1980s. There are a lot of teams out there that don't have any players from the 1980s.
Wow.
Isn't that 4 guys? Do they have? Is Jimmy not there? Yeah.
Draymond is March 1990.
Oh,
so, I mean,
it's the Draymond.
he sneaks
The
out
Draymond,
of the.
my bad.
Wow.
He sneaks out of the born in the 80s, barely by a handful of months, but he's still in the 35 or older category. All those guys miss time as well. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Curry misses time, Jimmy misses time, Draymond and Horford as well. I do love the fit with Horford, like playing in one preseason game. He looks like he is going to understand the system and how to get in guys' way, how to get the ball back to Stephen Curry, which is kind of what the entire system actually is how do we get Steph the ball to shoot a 3-pointer. I think they're a dangerous playoff team. I think they'll be able to beat anybody in the playoffs, assuming that those 4 are healthy. But the goal for this season should be to be out of the play-in tournament for the first time in a while. I personally have them 7th in my rankings. I'll go under. I think 45 wins.
Okay. Yeah, you're right about managing the workload. That's got to be a huge priority
no doubt.
for the top of the roster, at least in Curry, Draymond, Butler, even Al Horford, which even we saw the Celtics do, and they did it well. You got to have something left for the playoffs here. So, shouldn't Jonathan Kuminga help with that? Keep the old heads fresh? I mean, isn't that the plan here, or is this guy just going to be dealt the
They're gonna trade
second
him.
he can?
January 15th, phones open.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I'm interested to see how he attacks this season, how they obviously Curry uses them or doesn't. This idea of like building up his trade value even more or not. I mean, unfortunately, as much as Curry doesn't want to talk about it, we're going to be all eyes on that.
Yeah.
And how he plays and how he fits and all of the post-game quotes and all from everybody, really.
No doubt. Yeah. And they tried it last year. They threw him into that starting role. Was it January? They said, all right, here it is. Is he good? Do you want him? Essentially, it obviously didn't happen. There are question marks with the bench. You mentioned all the ages, even for guys from the bench. You said Seth Curry, other guys too. Gary Payton II getting older, obviously getting hurt quite a lot throughout his career. DeAnthony Melton is back injured to start the season here. So there's a ton of injuries. There's going to be a lot on guys you don't often talk about, but Guy Santos, Moses Moody, Pods will play a big role in this team. Yeah, the question is whether or not there's going to play enough minutes from that starting lineup.
I don't think so. So I'm going just under. That's my concern as well. They're very old and they're so good, but it's like
They're just old.
Yeah, and Jimmy, general soreness, he always missing time for
Yes, he
sure.
does.
And then Draymond and Curry. I mean, there's going to be stretches, I think, where they're going to miss a couple weeks, so that's going to have an effect on the rest of the roster and the trickle down effect. But I'll go just under. Still a good team, but it's an old team. And here's another one: the LA Clippers. I guess they're even older when the totality of the team, the totality of the minutes and the players. Over under for the Clippers, 47.5, Trey. Added Bradley Beal, John Collins, Brooke Lopez, Chris Paul, Norman Powell out, Amir Coffey out, and Drew Eubanks out. What do you think of the old Clips here?
No, they got 4 guys in the 80s.
Wow.
Harden, Batum, Brooke Lopez, and Chris Paul. 3 of those will probably start. I mean, Batum, I guess, is a question mark. Brooke Lopez, I guess, not only 2. So are they older? I don't know. 37 games for Kawhi last season, and they still won 50 games. Plus, they added a whole bunch of depth. They've got a great coach in Ty Lue. In the past 7 seasons since Kawhi Leonard signed with the LA Clippers, they've gone over 47.5. They've gone over 47 wins 5 times. Like, they just find ways to win.
Mm-hmm.
I had them. They were my biggest whiff last season. We didn't know what the deal was going to be with when Kawhi was going to be healthy with playing. Harden didn't look great, turned into an all-star once again last season. His teams always make the playoffs. So I think they'll go over. I don't think they get quite to 50 wins, but I could see them winning like 48. I think this is going to be a really, really good team because if Kawhi misses time, they still have James Harden. If James Harden misses time, they can bring in Chris Paul to be the point guard for a little bit of time. They have so much versatility with Collins, with Beal, with Lopez, with Zubas. They can just play so many different styles. And Ty Lue is like one of the coaches out there who actually gets the most from his players and is willing to experiment with different formulations. I like this team.
Just going over.
Yeah, it's easy to be positive about this team because it was a 50-win team. They lost 1 guy, but they gained 3 in Collins, Brooke, and Beal. I say they gained 4. Kawhi Leonard's probably going to start the season. Last year, he did not. He didn't play until January. He's scheduled to be playing now. Bradley Beal came in and said, "Whoa, that guy's amazing." I've never seen that guy in person. You know,
I've never seen that guy plant a tree.
Yeah, if Kawhi's contract is voided, this pick should go off the board.
Yeah.
Oh, we joke about it, but do you think it will have any impact on the Clippers season at all, this investigation into Kawhi and the Clippers and an aspiration, this fraud company?
Yeah, my thinking about it is yes, it will. I really don't know because I haven't been around a team that's ever, like nobody else has, ever been accused of something like this. Will it factor into the guys on the court, guys who block out everything? Kawhi Leonard, I'm sure. I mean, he was good at blocking out probably the agreement that he signed. He didn't know. He didn't do anything for that agreement.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Just pay me.
Yeah, I'm taking the under just because I do think that's a part of it.
Oh, wow.
I think that fact that there's 11 guys that they're playing that are 33 or older, that's friggin' old. I mean, that's the average age of their guys. They have a bunch of young guys that are going to come in and play a little bit, but they're super deep. They're super old. I don't know what this aspiration cloud hanging over them will actually do to how they factor into the desire to play. I really don't want to see the All-Star game in that arena. Just the fact that we're all basketball fans here, and we may, if he is deemed to be guilty, if the Clippers are deemed to be guilty, it's about integrity here. And then they may not even decide on this or end the investigation until after the All-Star game in that freaking arena, which is odd.
They basically are
Extremely
saying
odd.
it's going to be there, the 26th All-Star game.
No, they're
In
saying it's
Toronto.
there. Yeah, they're not taking it away. They're probably not going to.
The amount of trees we're going to plant at All-Star Weekend is going to be
NBA Cares
unbelievable.
is going to be the highlight event of the weekend.
Totally.
We're going to be hugging trees. If we get to go, that's a bunch of our videos will be us hugging trees. It's just weird that they won't end the investigation until after February. If that's the case, it sure feels like Adam Silver said that. What are we doing here? So that part is, unfortunate for me, and that's why I'm in on the under on this team, even though the guys playing on this team, Trey went through the names, seems like a 50-win team.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm always wrong about the Clippers. I always want to take the under on them. I probably will again. I'm like, the whole Kawhi aspiration thing, I think Ziller wrote that of all the players least likely to be bothered by an off-court scandal, Kawhi is probably like candidate number 1.
No
I
doubt.
agree with that. Like, I don't think it's going to impact him. To me, with the Clips, though, is how great James Harden was last season. He was awesome. He was so good. He was healthy. Can he replicate that in what's he at? I mean, he's up there. I don't know what year he's at. 17? Something like 16, 17?
This will be 17.
Jesus. Like, can he do that again and put back-to-back seasons? He was super important. Yeah, you got Chris Paul to like sop up some of the minutes if he misses time, but I think James Harden was like, even I'm admitting, like overlooked last year. So I'm going to go just under 47.5, right around there. But they're man, they got a lot of guys. The roster is stacked. Like, I mean, we barely even talked about Beal, if you believe he can still contribute. And John Collins is not a bad player, like especially in a role like this. Maybe. Healthy, potentially.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't healthy at Eurobasket, but he's always not healthy as we've seen in Atlanta, but they don't need as much from him.
No, that's the thing. They don't need much from all these old guys. They just have so many old guys. Are they like that dominant YMCA team that nobody wants to play? Like, oh, damn, we're gonna smoke these old guys, and then it's like, oh god, no, they're crafty as hell. So, but I'll just go under. Trey, the only one going just over, right? 47.5. Yep. In regards to James Harden, just a fun fact: he surpassed Ray Allen, number 2 all time on 3-pointers made. He's closing in on more milestones this year. He's 603 points shy of Carmelo Anthony for 10th on the NBA's all-time scoring list, and just 909 points away from Shaq. So James Harden is likely going to pass Melo and Shaq here on the all-time list, just continuing to go up that. It's unbelievable.
The best offensive player in the game, said Daryl Morey, because he scores a lot.
Said Daryl. Yeah. All right, from one LA team to the other, the Lakers. Over under 49.5. Tass, we'll start with you. They bring in DeAndre Ayton, Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart. Dorian Finney-Smith is gone. Jordan Goodwin is gone. Those are the notable names. How do you feel about the Luka-LeBron pairing with Coach J.J. Redick here in season number 2?
I think this isn't over. Last year, I was concerned with their defense when they traded Anthony Davis. They just weren't big enough, and they somehow efforted an incredible finish to this team, an incredible finish to that season without the height. And so after Dorian Finney-Smith left, I thought, do they have that same hunger level? I think they have replaced that a decent amount. Marcus Smart is there. He's already practicing again. He had that Achilles tendinopathy issue, but he's back, baby. Jared Vanderbilt is out there looking better than he did last season when he had to guard centers. Now he can guard the ball. So one of those guys is probably going to start. I think Rui goes to the bench, and there will be a hunger level. I think enough of these guys, plus some freaking height now with DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes being their centers. I think they have enough. I think there is a chemistry there. Lucas, forget about how skinny he is or whatever. It seems like he knows how to lead a team now for the first time really that he's had to do this. They're going to try out Porsches, as Dave McMenamin reported.
What? Hold on, what?
They're going to
they
like
went
a
to the Porsche driving experience.
Test driving. Hey, you guys want to bond? Let's go test drive some Porsches.
They went to Backstreet Boys over the summer.
Yeah.
Went to the Sphere.
Wow. Yeah. Everybody paid for. So cool. I think there's going to be a hunger defensively. There's obviously they're really, really good. Marcus Smart takes the floor. Jared Vanderbilt takes the floor.
Do they?
Will they? That's the question. Yeah. They're going to be hungry when they're out there. But will either one of those guys get injured? They are prone to injury. As much as I am a Vanderbilt lover, he gets injured quite a lot.
Love for Gabe Vincent?
Yeah, I'm just going to skip over him right now.
Wow.
I saw him with a clean-shaven face at one point this summer. It looked messed up.
It was weird.
Yeah, no,
you guys talked about it.
Don't worry, his scruff is back. I saw it. I think maybe like Jovan Buha said or something.
So you're going over, though.
I'm going over.
So 50-win team with Luka and LeBron.
Yeah, the best. Still. Yes. And this, I think this is going to be the best Luka leader that we've seen. Or, we've heard of anyway. We don't really see him leading that much. But I think, yes, I think all the ingredients for a good, solid recipe are there.
What do you think, Trey?
Luka teams haven't really been that good in the regular season. He's never won more than 52 games in a season, or he's won 50 or more twice in his career, despite being a first-team All-NBA player. The defense is interesting to me because I agree they beefed up inside, but I don't think they can guard anybody on the perimeter. Reeves is going to start. Luka is going to start. I don't think Marcus Smart is a starting caliber player at this point. Vanderbilt, I don't think so either. I think they will stick with Rui, especially since he's been there. JJ Redick likes the guy, and I don't think DeAndre Ayton is necessarily good enough to clean up the messes for those guys. Dorian Finney-Smith was a big piece for them last year.
Yeah.
Their main goal is just like the Warriors. They got to stay healthy. They got to get out of the play-in tournament. I think this team is maybe the top heaviest of anybody in the league. They got Luka and LeBron. If either of those two go down, bad stuff ensues for the Lakers. I'll go under. I think they get to like 49 wins.
I was going to go over until LeBron's second decision ad. So I'm going under now. No, many other reasons, but I am going under. Can we ask what you thought of that, though?
That was so lame.
I agree.
Yeah, like the decision is one of the pivotal moments in NBA history, certainly in the 21st century. It was going to be parodied at some point.
Yeah.
They did it for a limited edition bottle of Hennessy.
Which apparently isn't all that limited edition. I
Very dumb.
The Hennessy VSOP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of VSOPs out there.
Yeah, I
But
know.
this one says LeBron James on the bottle.
Yeah, it was pretty cringe. No doubt. Pretty corny. Tassie didn't mind it.
I don't know. I did not watch the ad.
Oh, yeah, wow. Yeah,
I watched
smart man.
as soon as I saw the promo. I was intrigued as everybody else.
Did you think he was retiring?
No.
Or did you think it was an ad for something?
I did not think he was retiring. I thought it could have been linked with Amazon.
That's what a lot of people did.
thought it was a Prime
Day.
It was a Prime Day.
He swerved.
Amazon's just got rights to show games. I thought that was a perfect connection. But he is on a load management cycle here that he's never been on. He's not practicing as much with the team. He's not playing a game in the preseason. He's not playing until the games start. That's the first time he's done that. Does that matter? I don't think so. He's got a nerve ending in his a nerve issue in his glute. You can bet your ass that he'll be fine for the regular season.
Can you bet his ass?
Yeah, exactly. I'd bet on his ass. Is there a bet? The game he'll start at the beginning of the season. Luka's not playing in games now either. He's practicing though, while LeBron really isn't. So there's worries about those guys being old and Marcus Smart and Jared Vanderbilt. I think one of those guys is going to start because they need somebody beside Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves to play the perimeter. But will they be able to play more than 50 games? That's a question for both those guys. Smart is freaking old. and Jared Vanderbilt has been injury prone now. JJ Redick keeps saying it looks like pre-injury Jared Vanderbilt out there. We'll see.
Yeah, I go under because I do have so many questions. You guys already brought up, can they play above average defense? I'm a little concerned about that. Ayton is your center, and then you do have Luka, not known as a defensive stopper, and you got LeBron at this point of his career. Maybe worried about the Hennessy ads instead of obviously giving it his all at his age on the defensive end. So you're going to be asking Marcus Smart, who played, 54 games combined over the past 2 seasons, to return to some sort of form. Same with Vanderbilt, be healthy. Can Austin Reeves sort of level up? Where does he in the mix here? And I mean, it's an improvement, don't get me wrong, from Jackson Hayes, but DeAndre Ayton is going to give JJ Redick a lot of headaches as well. And how he's incorporated is a huge cue. So I think it's still a good team because you got LeBron and Luka, but I'm going under 49.5. I think they're going to be 45 to 48 or something like that. Just coming under to me.
Yeah, one of these LA teams are going to disappoint defensively, I think. Even though the Clippers are a Tyronn Lue-led team, and they were incredible last year, but it is a question mark getting older and how much they're going to play on the defensive end. Somehow the Lakers under J.J. Redick were awesome after Anthony Davis was traded. They played hard for him. That being said, they added guys that, instead of Dorian Finney-Smith, that's the big question with them, is will those guys compensate what they lose in Dorian Finney-Smith?
I think the key for the Lakers is they don't really need to be a good defensive team. They can't be a bad offensive team. They finished 15th on the defensive end, 12th last year. They should be a top 5 offensive team with Luka Doncic and LeBron James handling most of the possessions. So I would start your best offensive players because your best defensive players aren't that great.
Right. Phoenix Suns, over under 31.5, TK. Now they did a lot. This team completely sort of changed their roster here. They bring in Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, Mark Williams, Jordan Goodwin, Nigel Hayes-Davis, Jared Butler. They got the 10th pick in Malawatch there, the Duke product. Lost Beal, Durant, Jones, Lee, Martin, Mičić, Plumdog, Ty Washington Jr.
Not Ty.
Yeah, Ty's
Come
gone.
on, he's gone.
Ty's
Bye-bye,
gone.
Ty.
And I had totally forgotten they're on their fourth coach in as many seasons here. Quick trivia question. Who's their coach?
Steve Ott. Jordan Ott.
Steve
Yeah,
Ott.
former Cavs offensive architect Jordan Ott is their coach. I legit forgot that. So 31 and a half.
That's crazy.
Trey, it's low. I mean, there's still some talent here, but what do you think?
Can't keep a coach, can't keep their arena the same name. 4 coaches. Since 2020, they've been Talking Stick Resort Arena, Phoenix Suns Arena, Footprint Center, PHX Arena, and do you know what they are this season?
No.
No, you don't. Mortgage Matchup Center.
Yes.
Cool.
Meet you down at the mortgage.
This is an NBA team changing their sponsor
Yeah, weird.
every 2 years.
Is that a Matt Ishbia?
Yes, it is a Matt Ishbia project. The Mortgage Matchup Center. You related to one of his companies, so maybe this one will stick around for a little bit, unlike their coaches. But this is a sad story. They went 51 wins, 64, 45, 49, 36 last season. They turned themselves into the Charlotte Hornets. I don't know how it happened.
Oh, boy.
They've got the entire starting center rotation from last year's Charlotte Hornets in Mark Williams and Nick Richards. People were talking up Nick Richards last year. That's how weird the Hornets are. This is the team I'm maybe the least excited to watch in the NBA. Not enthused at all. 36 wins last year. They were 11th, though, in clutch wins. Pretty good, actually. They were pretty solid in the clutch. I think they were maybe like 23 and 18, 23 and 19, something like that. Guess what? They traded away their best clutch player. Kevin Durant was the man leading the way for them last year. So I'm going to go under on the Suns. I think like 30 wins. And I just wonder how long Devin Booker is going to be happy to be sticking around. You pay him $75 million. So probably pretty happy at least this season.
Give it a go.
Yeah, we'll see when they finish 30 and 52, though.
Yeah, I too am on the under. They have changed so much about the roster. They've changed their front office. So I think overall for the Phoenix Suns, they're in a different direction. They've got a path set. So that's a positive for them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So we will see what they can do, but there's just so many question marks on the roster. Yeah, looking forward to Jalen Green now with Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks as their perimeter guys. All three are going to be starting to see what Jalen Green can do alongside Devin Booker. Just as a basketball fan, that's going to be cool. But, yeah, the questions are endless on this team. You mentioned the big guys and Mark Williams and Nick Richards. You're starting the Charlotte Hornets centers really. Kevin Malawach, they called him Man in Duke apparently. That was his nickname.
Man?
Yeah, because his name is Kaman and his teammates didn't want to say come on while they're on the floor, so they called him Man. That's what he said. So him and then Ryan Dunn, Oso Iguodala, they haven't really shown that they can be lead front unit. You know, the big forwards are huge questions on this team. I think it's endless. Yeah, maybe Nigel Hayes-Davis that you threw out there, who's a 30-year-old playing in Europe after he didn't make it in the NBA, can be a guy out there, but I don't think there's enough. But they do have like the Kobe Brea guys that can score, that are fun to watch, but they're not going to win a lot of games.
I'm swerving. I'm going to go just over on the Phoenix Suns 31 and a half because the question here is, yeah, they lost so much talent, no doubt. Look at the two rosters. They lost talent, but did they gain some guys with at least a bit of an edge to them? Like Dylan Brooks, for as much as we make fun of him, he raises at least the level of competition on a team. I think in practice, I think it translates to the floor. And so they have these like all these guys you guys are listing. It's like, they might be hungry to prove a point, and that might get them just to like a low 30 wins. They do still have Devin Booker. It's low. It's low. And I'm just saying they will just hit this. Like, I'm not going like crazy that they're flirting even with a play-in spot where they would take how many wins? 40 in the Western Conference, at least more. But low 31 and a half. I don't mind it. I'm going to take the over. At least the energy, I think, with this team, with now Durant removed and Beal obviously not there, I think it's going to make a little bit more sense. You guys brought up a great point about the bigs. It's not that's tough. You guys are, and I even like those guys probably more than most, but even I'll admit, that is a tough rotation. But I still have a little bit of a Devin Booker fan. And I love that, again, some of these cast-offs, I think, that maybe sort of these misfits might work together around Booker to get to 33 wins or something. So I'll go over. Like, do you think the Phoenix Suns are going to be, well, we're going to talk about the Sacramento Kings. Like, are they better or worse than the Kings or the Pelicans? We'll find out. because we'll talk about those teams, but that's where I'm like debating.
think they will be better than the Pelicans, worse than the Kings.
Okay. Well, let's talk Kings.
I think they should be coached by Steve Ott, as I said.
Steve Ott to coach him.
Yeah, he's a hockey coach, I think.
Ott.
I think that's where I said Steve Ott. And said Jordan Ott might be good as a coach. But
it's true.
But how much, because he's been under Kenny Atkinson, so he knows how to move the ball. I think all guys are going to be involved in the offense, but really, there's guys that just haven't succeeded in other places, and Mark Williams and Nick Richards. And this year, they're trying out guys. They're trying them out.
He's still there?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, like they just named 20 guys.
It's funny to hear players who are hyped up last year, like, oh, Nas Little on a veteran minimum. This guy's going to be the real deal. People were picking Mike Budenholzer to win Coach of the Year last preseason.
Yeah. Some of us were very high on the Suns last year. Guilty. But now they just got to win 32 games.
Now that's a low number.
So I'll pound the over again. All right, Kings, 34.5. Not much better than Phoenix here, Tass. Saric is in, your guy. You love him. Eubanks, Dennis Schroeder. They drafted Nick Clifford. A lot of people are talking him up. He might have a role on this team, the 24th pick there. And then they lost Mason Jones, Jake LaRavia, JV. So, for the most part, starting lineup of Schroeder, Monk, Levine, DeRozan, Sabonis. I guess Monk could be coming off the bench, whatever. That's like their main guys. Keegan Murray, sorry, I totally forgot him. So it'd be, Monk off the bench. What do you think? 34.5.
I'm going over.
Okay.
I have faith in a Dennis Schroeder-led offense. We saw him win in Germany. We saw what he did to start last year with the Brooklyn Nets. Now they started at 9-11. Let's extrapolate that over 82. They're going to win 34.5. I think last year they finished really strong. The Sacramento Kings finished really strong. 15-17 in their last 32. I mean, that's.
Hey, I thought you were going to say 27-24 with Doug Christie as their coach.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Over 500.
15-17 is finishing strong.
If the over/under win total is 34.5, then yeah. And this isn't Mickey Mouse March. It's Mickey Mouse March plus friendly February. I mean, that's right. Whatever the term is for February. That's 2 months. There's just so much freaking talent with a couple hungry guys in Keon Ellis and a full season of Devin Carter. We'll see what Nick Clifford can do, but they are lacking big wings. That's for sure. Like Keegan Murray is their number one at the 4. DeRozan is their other 4, I guess.
Yeah. That's why Nick Clifford is going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. The depth is an issue. But 34.5 for all these talented guys. And again, Dennis Schroeder knows how to lead a team. He was leading a team with Jordy Fernandez as their head coach, Doug Christie. What was the record that he had under?
27-24.
Yeah.
Took him up and said, look at this beam. I've never seen it that's close.
Yeah.
Sounds like close to a 500 club.
Okay.
Close.
So you're going over.
Yeah, I'm going over. That's
34.5.
I agree. I think the Kings are a little overhated right now. I think they're going to be good on offense. They got a lot of good offensive players.
Of course.
They just can't guard anybody, but that's fine. You can win a lot of games by outscoring the opponent. It'll come down to clutch play. I think for the Kings this year, they were 19-23 in the clutch. Last year, you get a little bit better luck. 23-19 in the clutch, who knows? But 35 wins is such a low number to clear the over. So I'm going to go over. They have been bleeding wins. They went from 48 to 46 to 40. They seem like they are trending in the wrong direction. I 100% agree with that. But you put Levine and DeRozan together, you're going to win about 40 games.
Yeah. You should be. You're right. They should be still around a top 10 offense at least. With
They
all
were
of those
7th
guys.
last year.
Yeah, I don't. It's how they're going to stop guys. Even though they have maybe a healthy Devin Carter helps, and we know Keon Ellis is good defensively, and Nick Clifford is sort of being, lauded as that as well. But you're not going to play all those guys together by any means.
Right.
So they're going to have to try and slow the better players on the other team. I'm with you guys though. It's too low. If this is 39.5, 38.5, I think you're like, oh, I don't know. I think they're still a 35-plus win team with the talent they have, as long as Sabonis and Keegan Murray and maybe Zach LaVine can stay healthy. It's really, I think they're quite shallow once those guys, their main guys, are gone. Oh yeah. But I'm with you. We're all taking the Kings over. Light the beam, baby.
What could go wrong?
I know. All right, final division here, Southwest Division. Dallas Mavericks 41.5. Trey Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
He looked good in the preseason action.
Stat stuffer.
Man, looks solid. D'Angelo Russell is sort of in there to be their starting point guard with Kyrie Irving on the shelf to at least start the season. Who knows how long he misses. And then Spencer Dinwiddie left. I mean, that's sort of it. 41.5. Where are you going with this one?
Yeah, 39-43 last year, but I think their last year record is like the least informative of maybe any team looking ahead for this season. I think they got a pretty good top 9 despite having basically no guard depth. They're going to be great defensively with Cooper alongside whichever big guys they decide to start. Like it's looking like Derek Lively, who his measurements came in 7'1" as predicted. The guy didn't grow. He was lying.
He didn't grow.
100% lying. People believed it. Anthony Davis, he'll be starting. That means you're bringing PJ Washington off the bench. That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
Daniel Gafford, really good player. The problem is they're only going to make 2-pointers. Last year, they were 26th in 3-point shooting, and that's with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving playing huge chunks of the season for this team. This team probably will lead the league in 2-pointers made. I would have to imagine maybe Denver is up there as well with, Jokic never missing. Main question for me is will Cooper Flagg be an all-star this year? Only 16 slots for Americans, so he probably gets squeezed.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot about that wrinkle.
And that's weird. That's why I'm like, Jamal Murray, you actually got a good chance in making your first all-star team.
Yeah.
Because, he might be one of the 8 best international players and not the 24 best NBA players.
Yeah.
So there'll be a good list eventually. Guys who are going to benefit from this and guys who won't. Cooper will not. 42 wins, though, for the Mavs. I'll take the over.
Wow. Okay.
Same. I'm going over. I think Anthony Davis's goggles are going to help him stay healthy. You got that guy on the floor with a Cooper Flagg beside him who looks good defensively. I mean, he can guard anybody on the perimeter. So why wouldn't they be a good defensive team? It is a fair question. Do they have 3-point shooting? It's D'Angelo Russell. It's Klay Thompson. And, Max Christie can hit some good percentages. He doesn't shoot a lot of them. But that's a trio. And PJ Washington can hang out in the corner. I think there's enough to get it until Kyrie Irving comes back.
Do you think Kyrie Irving comes back this season?
I think so.
You do?
Yeah.
I think he'll play.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, the injury occurred pretty late in the season. He's, mid-30s when he comes back. And he's a guy that relies on athleticism and speed and all that. I maybe slow play him, but who knows?
Yeah, they should slow play him.
Yeah.
It was March, right, last year.
Yeah.
On the Twitch that he was on. I always assume it's Twitch. I think it was.
He was streaming somewhere.
He was streaming something. He said, I'm not saying that I'm coming back next year. I'm not locking it in. He didn't. I guess he just doesn't want to say that to his Twitch fans.
Him and Kidd are sort of saying that, I maybe won't come back, but it feels like the front office, I think it was Nico Harrison, was more leaning towards, Kyrie Irving will be back.
Jason Kidd's,
So which one is it? But
Jason Kidd's going to take credit for turning Cooper Flagg into a point guard. I think that's what he's going to like he did
with Giannis.
Like he did with Giannis. Exactly the same thing. Because Cooper can't handle the ball and bring it up, and they need guard help. So I think they've got enough. I'm taking the over. The defense will be super, super good. I think D'Angelo Russell is just kind of an overlooked player, but he can score.
He's streaky.
He's streaky. But
he could really use a 40% from 3 type year from D'Angelo Russell, right?
Yeah. They would take 40% from the field.
Yeah.
38 last year. He was brutal last year. Bounce back season.
Yeah, in a year that he got traded, but he's got that chemistry with Anthony Davis going back to his LA days. A lot of talent. Yeah, the question is scoring.
I found this one. This was one of the toughest teams, I think. The most perplexing teams. I could talk myself into a really bad year, of course, and then a surprising good year. But I'm with you guys. We all have the Mavericks over 41.5. That's a damn good starting lineup. Mm-hmm. Russell, Klay Thompson, Cooper, AD with the goggles, and then Derek Lively. It's a
good front court.
That's a good front. Yeah, look, there's a lot of pressure on Russell, and there's a lot of pressure on Cooper Flagg to be awesome right out of the gate. That's what we're sort of banking on here a little bit with this. But I'll go over with you guys. 41.5, Dallas Mavericks. Let's stay in Texas. Houston Rockets, 52.5. Kevin Durant is there. Dorian Finney-Smith is there. Clint Capella is there.
Why is he there?
Hey, Clint just wanted to come play for the Houston Rockets. Josh Okogie. And they lost Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore, Jock Landale, and unfortunately Fred VanVleet, who will not be playing probably for the season. What do you think? Tass, start with you. 52.5 on Houston. Where are you going?
After such a good year last year where they won 52 games, I'm taking the under. It's surprising to me to do this to a squad that's fairly loaded, But yeah, the Fred VanVleet injury I think hurts. Them handling the ball. Steady Freddie was that last year, and now they're just going to have to throw in a bunch of guys. Do it by committee here. Amen Thompson, bring it up. Let's see what Reed Shepherd can do. There's so many guys there. I think there's some worrisome. We just talked about the Dallas Mavericks hitting 3-point shots. Who's hitting threes on this team? Last year they were bottom third of the league in 3 points attempted, 3-point percentage, stretching the floor. So I think that's a fair question. Dorian Finney-Smith, yeah, he could be the answer to that, but he's hurt to start the season. Now, he probably is going to play soonish. I like this quote that he said. He had ankle surgery in the offseason. He said, quote, "I probably made the injury worse because my nut ass don't want to sit down." Excuse my language. Not my language. Dorian Finney-Smith said, "My nut ass." Now, they have question marks. Okay, so we know Durant, Şengün, Thompson starting. Tari Eason wants to start. Jabari Smith wants to start. I think there's just a lot of questions going into a team that you're playing Western Conference teams right off the bat. You're a huge team, but can you handle it enough? The names are so good, but I worry about the guard play. Okay. I think that's fair. That's fair worry. So 52 wins is a lot. I'm going under.
TK.
Yeah, this is the one I did most of my prep yesterday, like going through and picking where I thought it was going to be. Then I woke up this morning, and this is the one I regretted the most because I am going to go over.
Okay.
I think they can get to 53 wins, but the three-point shooting is a huge, huge question mark. They lost their top three-point shooters from last season once Fred VanVleet went out with injury. I have to imagine they're regretting signing Capella. Like, you should have signed a backup point guard. You didn't need a third center.
Yeah.
When you got a guy who could make all NBA as the starter. That just doesn't make any sense to me. They have basically all fours on their team. Even Eason is a 4. Jabari Smith Jr. is a 4. I think Jabari should probably start just because he takes more threes than Eason does, and they need that sort of thing. 6th in clutch wins as well last season. Like, they had a good clutch season, and their clutch offense was basically Fred VanVleet, just shoot a bomb. And it went in a lot. So they lost him. They replaced him with Kevin Durant to take the clutch shots, but how much better can you get than 6th? Only 5 places, that's not going to change the math a whole lot. So I am going to go over. I think Reed Shepherd is in a pretty good situation. He does need to really take a step forward and look like an NBA player this season. They need him to shoot the ball like he did in college, like he did in high school, because he wasn't even a good shooter last year in the very few minutes that he played. So, and a not confident over on the Houston Rockets.
Okay, interesting. I'm going with Tass. I'm going just under the 52.5, right around the same record they had last year. You said 52 wins, so somewhere between 50 and 52. I look at them sort of like I looked at the Pistons when we did the Monday East over-under picks, like this idea of like, well, they should be better. Guys should level up. They have all this young talent, and probably it's because they have a Thompson twin on it as well. And I look at the Rockets, and I think that same thing too. But then I'm like, it's not sometimes as linear as just keep adding wins, keep adding wins, keep adding wins. I think it's just going to be around the same. They'll be fine, and they're going to be a contender if everybody's healthy to win the whole title or win the West. So I'm going just under. I wonder what I would have done if VanVleet was playing, and he was just like their lead guard, and that wouldn't have any questions about that. I don't know if the line would have been different. Is that like 54.5 if VanVleet's there? Does this even take into consideration the VanVleet injury? I assume it does, but I'm with Tess. I'll go just under. Trey, the only one over, reluctantly. It's fine.
Yeah, 53 is a high number, though, man. It's a high number for a team that can't shoot threes, but they're going to have an awesome defense. They should have a top 5 defense, and that's really good for regular season.
Yeah, and when Ime Udoka is making these decisions about who's going to start and who's going to close games, he's going to more times than not veer towards the guy that brings it defensively. Like, that's what he does.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And they're going to play the biggest lineup in NBA history, question mark? I don't know. Literally, they may run out because they're lacking guys especially. But
with Amen Thompson as your point guard, you're saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, just in total, team. Add inches together of 5 guys, they're going to be huge. They could literally throw out a Steven Adams alongside Alperen Şengün, plus Kevin Durant. That guy's 7 feet, plus an Amen Thompson and a Jabari Smith. I mean, they're monstrous.
It's true. Not a lot of shooting out there, but KD.
Well, that's what they like. Raphael Stone, that's what they like, I suppose. That's why they went and got Clint Capella. They just got big. They got bigger.
They got huge.
Shooting's overrated. Just get big.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to miss a ton, so we should have as many centers as possible.
Yeah, they were good at offensive rebounding last year.
You got Steven Adams on your team. You're always going to be good at offensive rebounding. All right, Memphis Grizzlies, over under 39.5. I forget who we're starting with here. We'll start with you, Trey. 39.5, Memphis.
Yeah, 48 wins for the Grizzlies last season. You would have thought they won 30 games with the way they're thought of. But they did lose Desmond Bane. They lost Jay Huff. And guess what? Everybody's already hurt for the Memphis Grizzlies, just like always. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Zach Edey, off-season surgery. They're not ready at the start of the season, though. Triple J will be back sooner. Brandon Clark, out.
Yep.
John Morant, week to week out with a sprained ankle. But in 4 of their last 5 seasons, they've gone over 500. The only year they didn't was when John Morant played 9 games. This team is able to win games. When Jaren Jackson Jr. plays, they play at a 47-win pace. I think he'll be back sort of soon.
Yeah.
I'm going over. I think they're about a 500 team, 41 wins. I think the number is just a little bit too low here for the Grizzlies.
Okay. Yeah, I think Ziller noted when you have that base duo of John Morant and Triple J, you win regular season games.
Yep.
Like if they're at all healthy-ish, and then they always find these diamonds in the rough to plug and play too. So feels low, Tass. So that's why TK is going over 39.5. What about you?
I'm with you, Trey. Feels super low with a team that won 48 games last year. But then if you say that both Jaren Jackson Jr. and John Morant, their top 2 players are going to be out for a while, then that factors in. But John Morant, it sure feels like he's going to be back very soon. I think he should be back for the regular season. Even though it's week to week, he says that it's totally fine. It's an ankle injury that he just turned this past weekend here as we record October 8th. It seems fine. Jaren Jackson Jr., again, shouldn't be too long. I think they have a defensive readiness every single season. They are ready. Jalen Wells is ready. They added a KCP who, yes, not a great offensive player, but will help out defensively. He does. They drafted Cedric Coward. They traded up for Cedric Coward because he is a monster in terms of length. He's 6'6", 7'2", with that wingspan. He already drew a charge in preseason. So I think there's enough defensive guys. And then the offensive guys, we talk about their top 2, but there's a Ty Jerome out there. That guy can drop 20, no problem. Santiago Aldama, more role for him this year. That's a huge drop-off to lose 9 fewer games from 48 down to 39. So I think it's over. Yeah, 500 team, I think, is easily accessible for these guys.
This is my dumbest pick. I'm going under. And the only reason I'm going under is because like when you start looking at all of the teams you're either going over on or under on, I'm like, oh, I got to go under on a couple of these squads.
Got to have some unders.
And they sort of were just like, they were my pick in the end. I don't have a lot of rhyme or reason. You guys sort of made great cases to like, why can't this be a 40, 41 win team at the very least? But I'm going under on Memphis. Huge part, just like, already coming in with your 2 best guys banged up. Your 3rd best guy dealt for, teenagers, future draft picks. I'm talking about Desmond Bane to Orlando. And then like all these other guys are like, I'm not as high on Ty Jerome being suddenly like this fill-in placement for Desmond Bane as maybe some are. So I just think if those guys are banged up at all, their main guys, somebody's got to lose games here in the Western Conference, and maybe they're on the short end of the stick. I'll go under. Don't feel confident about it. New Orleans Pelicans, 31.5. We're going lower on these. Skinny Zion. Tass Mellis, can he not get them to 32-plus wins? They added Sadiq Bey, Looney, Jordan Poole is there. They drafted Fears with the 7th pick. They drafted up to get Derek Queen. Maybe a little questionable there what they're doing, but they lost CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, Brandon Boston Jr., Bruce Brown. What do you think? 31.5. Was this a tough one for you?
It all comes down to Zion Williamson playing basketball, as we've said before. I'm buying into the skinny Zion, not only after all the talk and the photos of him, but he took his shirt off.
Hey.
When in Australia for training camp, he is skinny. Okay. Now, it's not like 6-pack skinny, but skinny enough. I think at this point of his career now, if he's playing, then this team is way better than a 31.5 win team. He's being challenged by Joe Dumars, as he said. He said, this is my guy. Joe is his guy. And I guess David Griffin didn't do that. And in the front office, he just feels like there's more on his shoulders. He called this making this transition, is what he said. So he feels like it's a transition year. Am I buying into that? Well, maybe. But it wasn't about losing weight in the off season. It was about learning how to fix his body in the regular season last year, because they started 6-24. He hurt his hamstring, and he talked about what the trainer did to him to come back, eat right, and all that. So it's not like, oh, it's July, I'm eating well. I think it was a whole year process, and I'm buying into
payoff.
Yeah, 32 wins is
It's low.
it is nothing, and yeah, the talent is there beside him, but it really does come down to that guy.
Yeah, it might be as simple as that. New Orleans also ranks last in the NBA in roster continuity, according to our guy John Schumann, who's always crunching these numbers. They are saying goodbye to a staggering 50% of last season's minutes. So it is big overhaul here. And DeJounte Murray's not going to be there to start the season, Trey. He's out with the torn Achilles tendon. I don't know if that means an opportunity for Fears, their 7th pick here, the rookie point
Jordan
guard.
Poole, bro.
Jordan Poole is definitely going to start. He was acquired in place of McCollum. But what do you think? 31.5.
I think a big year for Zion. I think he'll play over 60 games this year. They've been over 500 in his career when he plays. I just think the team stinks around Zion. Like, I don't actually think there's a lot of talent here outside of Trey Murphy and Herb Jones on the defensive end. Hasn't really been able to take a step on the offensive end. You look at their team last year, Murray only played 31 games, 30 for Zion, and only 18 games for Brandon Ingram. So that's why their number, 21 wins, was so low last year. There's no incentive for this team to lose, having done the pick swap with Atlanta and Milwaukee. I just don't really see this team being competitive in the Western Conference. That's the problem, is that though they may be going into a transitional period here, if Zion's able to stay healthy, that certainly improves their outlook. But the Western Conference has gotten a lot better in the years since Zion was drafted to the Pelicans. So I think good that they're committing to him. He's still young enough that you can still build a team around him, but this is not a good team that is built around him.
But you're going over.
No, I'm
going under.
I'm under 30 wins.
Okay. I'm going just over 31.5, and it's very simple. If Zion, Murph, and Herb Jones play 60 games together, I'm not asking for a full season, 60 games, basically 3 quarters, let's call it that. I think the Pelicans win half of those games if, again, 60, all 3 of those guys are playing, and then they got to pick up 2 more wins somewhere. I think they can do that. I'm going over, but I'm definitely banking on Zion staying healthy enough to be a lead guy and try and get them back even in. I don't even think they're going to be in the play-in mix, but maybe for a couple months at least, be flirting around there. I'll go just over, just over for the Pelicans. But yeah, I mean, it sucks that they don't have. I mean, Jordan Poole is your lead guard.
He's your vet.
Yeah,
Him and Looney are your vets right now.
yeah. The old Warriors days coming in there. Teach them how to win. Teach them how to win 32
They got
games.
titles. That's true.
That's all we gotta do. All right, final team: San Antonio Spurs. 44.5, Trey. Where are you going with Wemby here? Back and healthy. They got Luke Cornett, Kelly Olynyk, Lindy Waters III, drafted Dylan Harper, Carter Bryant as well. Didn't lose a whole lot. Chris Paul's gone, Mamu, Branham, Blake Wesley.
Yep.
But Wemby's the main guy here. 44.5, enough for 45 wins with him leading?
Only 46 games for Wemby last year, only 17 for Fox after he got traded, and they played, like 5 games together, I think, including one here in Atlanta. So does a full season of Fox and Wemby, or at least playing as much as they can, equal 11 more wins? Maybe. Maybe. They are going to have a top 10 defense when Wemby plays, but he can't play the entire game. I do think Luke Cornett is probably the only guy they added that's going to have a positive impact this season. Dylan Harper, you never know what you're going to get from rookies. He's banged up right now. Carter Bryant seems to be a bit more of a project. I personally think Wemby will be getting MVP votes. He's at my MVP table. He was not at Tass's MVP table officially. What about you, Skeets? You think he's going to end up there?
And how many we got at the table again? 5 or 6?
6.
We got 6. At the end of the season, or will he ever take a seat at all? I think he'll pull up a seat for a majority, like a portion of the season.
Okay.
I don't think he'll be there at the end of the season. Well, hold on.
Could be.
The 6th spot, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they're a 45-win team, he is, for, or, 50, near 50. But I'm going under, so I'll say no. I don't think they're going to win 45
Yeah, me neither. I think they win 44. So I'll take the under as well. I just don't think there is a ton of talent outside of Fox and Wemby.
Yeah. What do you think, Tass? You saw the preseason action. You saw that Wemby block, didn't you?
Oh, of course.
My God.
Of course. Should we factor in that Fox isn't playing right now?
Hamstring injury.
He's got a hamstring injury. So you say that. Well, that's worrisome, right? Although Darren Fox said they're just playing it safe. They're being the San Antonio Spurs. They play everything safe. He literally said I was on a treadmill running 15 miles an hour. I'm fine. That's super fast.
Wow.
That's a 4-minute mile.
Damn.
Now, I don't know how long he was running for. I don't know if he was running
Ran
for 4
8
minutes.
steps.
But the fact the injury news came out, and that's how he responded, saying, I am freaking healthy. The Spurs are just keeping it safe.
Okay, that's
so
good.
we don't know about him. But Dylan Harper also probably going to miss the beginning of the year. And so it's going to fall a lot on Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, who's played point guard before. That didn't go well.
No, don't do that.
So it's going to be a lot on their support guys. I'm going under, not just because of the injuries, but because the West is freaking tough, because they haven't played together, period. And you mentioned all the guys that have come in. They're young. Simple as that. Other than their old center backups with Kelly Olynyk and Luke Cornett out there. Not sure.
So
there's
competing
too many
for a
question
play-in
marks there.
spot, though, but under ultimately.
Yeah, they should be competing for a play-in spot. But it wouldn't be surprising to see, as Trey has, Victor Wembanyama at an MVP table. What year will it happen?
Right. I mean, if he plays enough games, he's winning Defensive Player of the Year. That's a lock. Just has to hit the mark. And then, yeah, how many games? I think all we're getting at is how many games do the Spurs have to win for him to be getting MVP votes. I don't know, probably like around 47, 48. I guess maybe like them flirting with an actual just like postseason position and voiding the play-in entirely, I guess. I'd put it around there. But even then, you can win that many games and still be in a play-in. But I'm going under with you guys. I'm going just under. I'm excited. Everybody's excited. He had the crazy offseason.
Trained with Matt Bonner. That was a
Trained with Matt
hilarious
Bonner.
one to include in the people you've trained
Very
with.
funny.
Matt Bonner.
Yeah, who was
okay.
who was the list? Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was at the temple, the Shaolin
What else
monks.
did he say? And he definitely shouted
Hakeem.
out Ra's al Ghul.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah. Hakeem Olajuwon.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Hakeem, yeah.
So Hakeem, Kevin Garnett, and then Matt Bonner.
Matt Bonner and Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. He's already got some fire quotes in the preseason too. He's sort of talking his shit already. He's got confidence. It'd be awesome.
gosh, yeah.
Look, I'll be happy as just an NBA fan if he like levels up here in year 3 immediately and he's like leading his team to 50
That's
wins.
the year. That's the year that people explode in
Yeah.
the NBA. Derrick Rose won MVP his third year.
Right. Now he did lose half a year last year. Does that help him? Maybe even helps him getting rest. Who knows? We'll see. Let's get our picks, our locks, I should say. Our Western Conference 3 locks each. Task, get us started here. What are you putting your money on?
I'm a super optimistic person. I'm taking 3 overs here.
Okay.
I'm starting with Denver. I do believe just in their squad. 55 wins is gettable for this roster. Taking them.
Okay.
New Orleans, 31.5. It's all belief in Zion Williamson playing basketball. I'm buying it. It was only 2 years ago where he played in 70 games. So there was one bad year last year, but to me, he figured it out through his trainer, how to get right. And he said, whoa, feels good to feel good. And he learned that. And so coming into this year, even though they're lacking a little bit in support staff, their support team, I think they'll be fine with Trey Murphy, an old guy eating minutes at center, and Kevon Looney, and those hungry guys like Alvarado backing up. And then on my third optimistic over pick, I'm taking the Mavericks at 41.5 over. I think they just have enough talent to get them there. Kyrie's coming back at some point. They're too stacked. So I was also comfortable taking it over at a 50 number, a 30 number, and a 40 number. That felt good.
Right.
Nice teaser.
So you got
didn't want
the tiers are, you got Nuggets as that sort of elite over, the Mavericks as sort of the middle over, and then the
Yeah.
Pelicans as that's way too low. They should be over 31.5.
Yeah.
All right.
I understand why people are betting under on all those. That's why this is tough.
That's betting. Trey, your 3 Western Conference over-under locks.
California love for me. 3 California
thumbs up.
teams.
Ooh.
No crossover with Tass. That's ice. I like that. I'm taking the Clippers over 47.5.
Okay.
I'm taking the Kings over 34.5.
Okay.
And I'm taking the Warriors under 46.5. Those are my locks.
Okay, interesting. I like what I like about that is you like one old team you sort of believe in the Clippers, I guess, to hit their over, and then maybe the Warriors not as much with the 46.5. Though it's also the rest of the roster I think you're taking into consideration.
Yeah, I think the back end of the Clippers roster is better than
Right.
the back end of the Warriors roster, and I expect both of them to have to play their back ends a lot.
Okay.
A little back end chat for you.
Watch your nut ass. All right, I like the picks. I have one same pick, and that's with you, Tess. I like the Pelicans over 31.5. I believe in skinny Zion as well. And I went through, if they just play their main guy 60 games, I think it's enough to get there. I like the Wolves over 49.5. I'm going to lock that one in with obviously an identity coming into the season. I'm splitting the difference. If they were 49 last year and 56 the year before, I think it's somewhere in the middle. I got them like at 52, 53. And I'll take an under on the champions, reigning champions. I'm going to take the Thunder under.
Thunder under.
Yeah, 62.5. That's high, man. That's high. They're awesome. I love watching them. I think they'll just be closer to the 60 win mark than hitting 63 plus. So Pelicans over, Wolves over, Thunder under.
Thunder under.
Those are our locks. Let's hear from you out there, either on YouTube right now. Let us know in the comments section. Podcast listeners, you can let us know on Spotify. You can comment on Spotify. I've been jumping in there. Yeah, it's nice.
Nice.
Yeah, people commenting on the show. It's sort of cool because you just comment on each show. I like that part.
Huh.
It's like no different than the YouTube
Yeah,
comments.
that is like YouTube.
So let's hear your picks there. People that listen on Apple, I don't know, you can't do it there. So that's fine. Tweet at us at NoDunkSync.
I mean, you can leave reviews on Apple still.
You can leave reviews. Yeah. Just I meant you can't comment on each show.
True.
Yeah, true.
What do you think is better?
Spotify is more of a chat almost. I almost call it a chat. It seems like Apple, it's harder to get in there and leave a review. So
I do find it a little easier on Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got to say.
But I like the long-lasting nature of the Apple reviews.
Oh,
Yes.
totally different.
Because you're
Yes.
never going to go back to a show from 3 weeks ago to check the comments.
No, never.
No. You got 24 hours for me to check.
That's right.
So get your
Exactly
comments in right away. But let's hear who you guys think your favorites when it comes to the Western Conference over under locks. Make sure you go check out Monday's Eastern Conference over under locks. We did all 15 teams, obviously went through them all, made our cases, and then made our picks for our locks at the end of that. So that is up on YouTube, obviously in your podcast feed as well. So go check that out. We're back on Friday here from the Classic Factory 2.0 with a fun one for you guys. We're going to do a draft. First time All-Stars draft.
Okay.
Potential first time All-Stars.
Oh, we have to factor in the new format.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you do. I totally forgot about it. Boy, yeah, that's going to make things tricky. But we'll be drafting
weird.
first time All-Stars. I don't know how many rounds you guys want to do, but 4 or 5 or something like that.
I don't think the NBA is factoring it in. We'll get to it. They're just going to do it.
They don't know
Hopefully
what
we
they're
get
doing with
lucky.
it. You're right. They're just like decided we're playing World versus
Playing
America.
World versus America.
Well, yeah, how you
also
gonna do the
versus
voting?
America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Anyway, that's on Friday's show. Can't wait for that. So join us live at 10 a.m. Eastern here on YouTube. Otherwise, podcast gets flipped very quickly by super producer JD. All right. Till Friday. Clipper Rose.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, there are 1,230 NBA regular season games played every single year. I could go into the odds and all that right now, but it's too late now. I'm not going to do it. But the Western Conference, far more wins projected than the Eastern Conference. They still play the same amount of games. You know what I mean? Maybe if we have an expert from a company to come, assist. Basically, they're saying that less games are going to be won in general.
I mean, I
According
think
to
that makes
lines.
sense, right?
What do you mean?
Well, the Western Conference is
Yeah,
going to probably
they
have a
don't-
better record against the
Yeah.
Eastern Conference.
Yeah, no, but overall, the Western Conference teams add up to 615 wins, about 615 wins, while the Eastern Conference adds up to like 597 or something. So you add those up, that's like 10. This is going to be like 20 games that no one wins.
Oh, I see.
I mean, whatever, That's not how it
I
works.
gotcha.
But anyway, moving on.
All right, we'll see you guys Friday. Embrace the day, people.